still a close game, and I have no idea how long this game is. But at this point, ooh, Soraka does get taken out there in a fairly easy kill, and Gangplank is in a lot of trouble. He's got a lot of health. He's got 3 hearts of gold? You know what? I wasn't even paying attention to his build. I saw on the team score here that someone had multiple hearts of gold, and I had just assumed that it was Rammus. So that is an... Oh, Rammus, speaking of which, almost goes down to a parlay there. Very close. In fact, he may go down to Karthus is all here. He does. Be interesting to see how much attack ability power does Karthus have. 228. Not a huge amount. Ooh, Cannon's in big trouble here. Jax, and there we go. Renekton coming in from the back. Gets a nice kill there. So much health. He does have his ultimate going off. Just tanking the tower, tanking 2 people. Now he's getting dangerously low. Takes 1 more blast from the tower and survives. And I think now the purple team is going to want to escape. I'm not sure where Anivia was. Missed that. Sorry, guys. I'm going to keep apologizing. See, yeah, oh God. It's funny, I keep watching Heroes of New Earth commentaries, and, you know, every time the announcer apologizes for something, I'm either mad that they missed something, or I'm mad that they're apologizing all the time, but I can definitely see why it's so easy to do, because there's so much action. The problem is when you're talking, you're not seeing as much as you would be if you were just watching silently. Same as if I'm doing a Let's Play live. There's so many things that I miss or just forget about that would maybe not be the case if I was just playing a single player. Curious about the life totals here. Looks like we can just barely see how much health Gangplank has. And he is definitely going to go down. He is forced to stay in with Jax because of the friendly Gangplank ultimate. And despite the assistance from Soraka, it does get taken out by Jax. Doing a very good job. Tower diving Soraka, though, I don't think that's going to lead to a kill. She is low. He is staying in, but that's a lot of tower damage. He's going to have to get out of there now. And does get finished off. So the health totals were not updating in real time for Jax. It looked like he had plenty of health, but obviously that is not the case. Meanwhile, we've got Rammus who's engaging on Renekton. It looked like Rammus was chasing Renekton, but it may have been some lag, or it may have simply been Renekton trying to stay ahead of Rammus there. Kind of weird, because there's no reason that Rammus would want to actually engage another tanky character quite that much. So at this point, let's take a look at what Jay is Awesome is using. He's still got his Doran's Shield, finishes Randuin's Omen, an excellent item all around, especially if you're playing a tanky character. Decided to go with the Force of Nature, which is an interesting choice. We do have a fair amount of magic damage coming from the other team between Heimer and Kennen. Is going for an AP build, which only leaves Gangplank with the other source of damage, and of course Gangplank is going for a tanky build. Very odd choice. So I think that overall the blue team is probably suffering from too little damage, especially with the Soraka as support. She's one of the least damaging support characters. And so I don't know if that was a really wide choice. I'm going to say that this Gangplank, while it's a very interesting build, and for all I know could be a very competitive one in a regular ganky type build, tends to do very, very well. Its most organized play, for example, tends to favor somewhat more damaging builds because people are more coordinated and better able to survive. That was a little bit foolish of a chase by Jax. Nivea does try to flash away, but it seems like she got hung up in some of the minions, and she gets taken out as well. 19 to 10, definitely a close game. Gonna go for another dragon kill here. It'll be interesting to see if they try to make a move on Gangplank. So yeah, I really am thinking that the blue team is suffering from an underabundance of damage. And since the only 2 sources of damage are magical, going for a little bit of magic resist like Renekton has gone with the Force of Nature is a pretty neat idea. Wow, that is going to be very dangerous for Karthus, who does go down. It'll be interesting to see if he can get anything done while dead here. It's actually a really good engagement by the blue team. And Renekton is going to survive, but just barely. Gangplank going down as well. It is 2 deaths in that exchange, and Nivea was already dead for only 1 kill on Kennen, but I'm pretty sure this tower is going to go down. I can't see the health at this point. Luckily, their Gangplank is not doing a lot of damage. I say luckily for the purple team, of course, the Gangplank is not doing a lot of damage. That tower had already been down. In fact, I think it's going to survive, which is just unbelievable. Rammus is going to try to engage here on Anivia, who's low again, and is probably going to get finished off here. Yes, the taunt does go off, forcing her to stay in, dropping Anivia. Rammus is going to be forced back by the tower. Oh, Jack's going down as well, and the tower is definitely going to drop at this point. There's some complaints here from the purple team saying that Kennen, AD, and Heimer can put the hurt on. Yeah, but All you need is a little bit of MR, and you will shut down their entire source of damage, and you will have nothing to do but to kill the squishies. And granted, there's not quite as many squishies on their team, but there's still a few people you can focus fire. Absolutely, I suppose, more importantly than just getting magic resistance, if you can focus your CC on those two lonely sources of DPS, then you're probably going to win just about any fight. Of course, both teams are actually quite low on CC. Not much in the way, especially hard CC like stunts. They're sort of finicky, the ones that they are. Like Jax and Anivia do have the stuns, but it's not the same in any way whatsoever. Come on, guys, defend towers, don't back. Some QQ. Purple team not feeling the love. I think they felt like they had a bigger edge going on earlier when it was 13-6. You know, that 2-to-1 ratio. But the fact of the matter is, since then they've kept pace kill for kill. And I really do say that the Heimer, and I'm not saying this just because I love Heimer, it's partially just because of what he represents. Just like a lot of other support characters, you sort of have to give them a few other kills artificially just to balance it out, and I am going to figure that the teams are effectively even, is what I'm going to give them in terms of team kills. The tower situation is roughly the same. Looks like blue team is actually up 1 tower. Purple would have to kill this tower here for things to be exactly even. We've gotten some pings on Baron. Of course, the blue team's been absent for a while. I think there's definitely a concern that they're up there, and they really should be warding that. Kennon's down here. That's probably a good sign that they're not actually doing it. Of course, it would be risky. Blue team would not know where the purple team was this entire time. It would have been a definite risk to try to get a Baron kill at that point, sort of blind, because you never know when they might show up and do something. But in fact, the blue team were definitely in the right neighborhood, but declined to actually do it. So that's very interesting. We have a ward coming down here toward the dragon, which I believe the blue team claimed a little while ago. It would be very interesting to see where the blue team are warding, if anywhere. At this juncture, it might actually be a good idea to pick up a counter ward here to get the ward that lets you see invisible. Drop one in there to see if they have a ward, and then kill that one and just control the vision in that area. A little bit risky of our Gangplank to be off by himself here, because he could have easily been snagged by someone like a Rammus. I'm curious to see what kind of boots Rammus has. He has the Mercury's Treads. Again, a lot of people getting those Merc Treads, especially on such a low CC team here. I'm not sure that was a wise choice, especially as Rammus. I really like to get something whenever possible that just gives you extra movement rate, just to help you engage and catch people that do it with your Powerball. First, your Powerball is already going to give you extra speed, but it multiplies so well. I especially like the Boots of Mobility because it lets you get to the fight very quickly. It lets you engage very quickly as well, since at the start of the fight you're going to have the superior movement speed from that item. Rammus is getting engaged on a little bit here, but he's going to be able to take it out just fine. Jackson's got to be careful. He's quite low here, and in the radius of Gangplank's ultimate. He does manage to get out. Karthus does go down. It's not necessarily the end of the world. No, we're losing a lot of people on our team. Renekton going down as well. That is actually his first death of the game. And his first time seeing the gray screen here. And that's true, there was no focus. We've got 3 characters, 3 champions that are very, very low and none dead. A bit of a lack of focus. They're going to have to play extremely cautiously, and Anivia can defend pretty well. She's got a lot of AP, but she's very, very squishy right now, so she's going to have to be cautious. A lot of AP and mana regen. Wow, takes so much damage from Parlay right there. Jax at this point has the Hextech Gunblade, going for a mix of attack damage and ability power. He's got the Lifesteal and Spell Vamp. Again, I think maybe a little bit too much focus on that. It does make him a very powerful force one-on-one, but if he gets focused, he's going to go down. And I know that Lifesteal and Spell Steal are powerful. Oh, Karthus, what are you doing? Getting way, way, way out of position in a situation where there's really no hope to get a kill. Yes, a little bit of a WTF going on in the team chat. So overall, neither team playing at the top of their game, I would say. Rammus doing some nice damage on the middle tower here. He is going to be forced back, I think, but he may decide to, yeah, he's just going to stay in and go for the tower, even if it means his death, and that is not necessarily a bad choice. A naked inhibitor. Oh, nice flashes out of that, too. Excellent move, and Cannon, sorry, getting the bottom tower at the same time as the purple team are forced to spread out. And Heimerdinger may actually put in a lot of damage on on the inhibitor here. Now, Renan... Oh my god. I need a drink. I need to be able to pause the replay. Hold on a sec, guys. Ah, god. Renekton is able to force away Heimer, and also, with the new tower, the new turret AI as well, draws aggro away from the inhibitor and helps to keep it alive. But it's definitely a terrible place for the purple team, who are looking very good now. Now the score is equalized 21-20, and I still say that Heimer is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this particular situation. He's got his Zhonya's Hourglass now, which is going to make him extraordinarily hard to kill. The Riley's Crystal Scepter, very, very good, and the Archangel Staff. Those are the 3 core items on him, in my opinion. People continually mark him for a kill, and I think that's a very, very poor decision. Heimer is surprisingly tough, and while he is one of the sources of damage, and I guess Kennen is pretty good at escaping too, but if you check, if you know he's got the Hourglass, he's going to be hard to get the kill off. Nice focus fire on him, though. Oh, and I don't think we saw the Hourglass go off at all there, unless the replay didn't manage to catch it. But it looks like, ooh, that is going to be bad for Jax. There's a stun that's going off, and Jax is actually regenerating enough health here that he's not going to die to Gangplank, unless there's a parlay crit that goes off very, 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 very soon. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. In fact, I don't know if Jax should run away there. We got very lucky that he didn't get parlayed on the way out for the kill, because he may have wanted to just stay in and take advantage of his lifesteal, as much as I was ragging on it a tiny little bit there. So that was actually a very good turnaround for the purple team. We have 4 blue team members dead, and it should be a time to push or go after Baron. This is actually an excellent time to do it. As long as people can get there as quickly as possible, this will turn around the entire game, but it's got to happen very, very fast. Gangplank, get over there. No, what are you doing? No, getting the one group is good, but this is just bad. Terrible. Oh, terrible, terrible. Nice job, Renekton, going through the wall there. Rammus is waiting. He did assume that this was a definite possibility. He's actually doing a huge amount of damage on Anivia there. Holy cow. He's got so much health, he's going to be hard to kill. Aegis of the Legion, Heart of Gold, Banshee's Veil, nice defensive items there, and Karthus gets the kill on Rammus, which I think is totally fine. Be interesting to see. Only 6 stacks on the Soul Stealer, but that is better than nothing. Now, I don't... Ooh, big engagement potentially in the middle here. I think people are mostly going to be able to get away, unless the slows do continue on Kennen, and he gets taken out. I wasn't sure they're going to be able to chase him down there, but Karthus' wall did everything that it was supposed to do. Top tower in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure if anyone on the purple team has a teleport. Doesn't look like it, no. Of course, teleport is fairly uncommon once you get past the low elos. The sure sign that you're in a lower level game is everyone's got like teleport and team or something like that. However, that being said, one teleport on a team is always kind of handy. I'm not saying that's something that is a must-have, but it's never a bad thing to see, especially on certain champions. I especially like it on people who are capable of just showing up and 1 or 2 shotting an entire wave of minions, because you can defend those towers very quickly, and you can get a few times some very, very nice mid to late game farm when people have moved out of position, and then you just see a big wave of enemies like that. You teleport in, kill it, and then recall back and buy something awesome. Later in the game, you do tend to get a lot more mobility and a lot more speed, and getting back to the action after a recall is definitely an easy thing to do. So a lot of people going back here was a correct decision. I think there should have been as hard of a push as possible. Again, another recall here. That they're all MIA. I guess they should be careful about getting ganked, especially since so much of their team is missing. Pirate could be in a little bit of trouble here. I think he's going to get out just barely. Oh, that Rammus must be upset. One taunt and that Pirate would have been dead meat. So looking at the creep score now, we have Renekton, who's almost at 200 creep kills. Very nice. Heimerdinger getting close to 300, but overall, I'd say there seems to be, at a glance, a better farm up top. It's pretty close, so it's hard to say. And Purple does have the champion kill advantage now, once again, at 27 to 21. Would be nice to get some statistics that really gave you the idea of what the the XP at gold count were. Actually, now that I look at it, everyone is at level 18, I think, except perhaps Soraka, Gangplank, and Rammus, so there's a level disadvantage on the blue team at this point, but that's going to equalize any moment now as everyone hits 18. It's possible they already have, and it's just that the score screen has not updated. No, Soraka definitely still 17 points. It's a little bit less of a problem with her being supporty. Looks like an excellent engagement position by Rammus, boxing some people in, although Kennon's going to go down very quickly. That is one of the most important DPS. Are they going to focus fire someone on? Oh, Kennon, nope, he survived longer than I thought, probably thanks to a heal by Soraka. Got an ultimate going off here by Karthus, does manage to get a kill, and Soraka now in big, big, big trouble. Looks like she's going to go down, and Anivia saved by her egg. Jax is in big trouble, does finally go down, and again, we've got a lot of people that are very, very low health as the purple team fails to stay focused. Nice bit of healing going on there, and Renekton now in big trouble. Does try to dash away, gets boxed in by Anivia's own wall. Anivia is certainly trying to help out her team member, but that backfires, and actually just gets herself killed, but Renekton is going to be able to escape, and the only member of his team to survive that encounter, the only member of his team to still have the Baron buff, and I would suspect that we are probably going to see an inhibitor get killed here. Yes, it's true. No one focused there. At the beginning, very, very nice focus on Kennen, although I think they abandoned it too quick. I think people assumed Kennen was going to die, and then they retargeted, and then Kennen got some heals, and he ended up surviving just a little bit too long. Gangplank, the only one to move up to engage the inhibitor here, which seems like an odd decision by the blue team. I think he really... they really could have gotten an actual guaranteed kill here. And now things might turn around a little bit. Gangplank does have a surprising amount of health and is being supported by Soraka. Here, they have moved their focus to kill Soraka, and despite a big heal on her part, she is going to go down. And now Gangplank may be in a little bit of trouble, still has a lot of health, but that lack of CC means they have to chase him a good long way to get the kill. They do pull it off, and the blue team is nowhere to be found. I have no idea what they were doing at that time. That seems like they were out of position. They really could have gotten at least one inhibitor and probably could have defended their own teammates there. Meanwhile, we've got Kennen trying to make a move on the middle inhibitor. He's going to get intercepted by Jax, and looks like he's going to be chased away. He gets blocked by the wall. He is able to flash through the wall, and he's going to be able to run away. I can't believe this tower at the bottom is still up. Really, really insane. A long game, a lot of back and forth. I'm going to say that it's not necessarily long because of exceptionally well put together defenses. I'm going to say that both teams have missed several really good opportunities to push, and this is exactly the sort of thing I'm looking forward to being able to analyze in other people's replays here. Individually, I think that a lot of people on both teams are doing perfectly fine, but it's the uncoordinated nature of this random pub that is really hurting both teams. And it'll be, you know, this sort of level of awareness by watching other people's games is hopefully something that I and you can apply to your own games and try to pay attention to. And be aware that there are a lot of times, and this is a trademark of anyone but the highest levels of ELO, people often don't push when they should. It's a very, very common flaw. There's a nice push going on in the middle, but they are missing Renekton, so I think they're going to be not really going to be able to overcommit here. Now, they're going to put some damage on that tower, mostly thanks to the minions. Renekton's still getting some nice farm up here, but at this stage in the game, I'm not sure how much that's called for. We do have both a Randuin's armor and a Yumu's Ghostblade, the Force of Nature, the Spirit Visage, interesting, and oh, the Ionian Boots of New Lucidity, the cooldown reduction boots, and still has the Doran's Shield. So Jay is awesome, still has enough room for one big core item, and it may sell the Doran's Shield now and buy something. Jack's going for the red buff, very, very good choice there. Be interesting to see what he has at this point. Negatron Cloak, I think he might be going for a Banshee's Veil. Always a strong selection. And yes, we did sell the Doran's Shield, and we've picked up a Chain Vest at this point. And I'm curious to see exactly what he intends to do with that. He may be going for Guardian's Angel, which wouldn't be a bad choice, especially in an uncoordinated play like this. It does give you that confidence to push a little bit more, push ahead, and your team will generally follow you if you push, so you can do it with a little bit more confidence if you on so many different champions. Anivia has completed a Rod of Ages. Interestingly enough, decided to complete 2 Archangel Staffs before the Rod of Ages, and I'm not sure that was the best choice. The mana gain mechanic of the Archangel Staff does not stack with itself. So it's a good idea to get one tier of the goddess as quickly as possible to start building up that mana. But then after that, they don't really stack the same way. Obviously, they stack fairly well for giving you ability power, but I think that getting an earlier Rod of Ages may have been a good idea because Anivia was quite squishy. At this point, she has got 2,400 hit points, so she's gone past that point thanks to the Rod of Ages. But of course, the earlier you get that, the more you can survive, and the earlier you can charge it up. So they've got a nice push going on the bottom, which is going to have to be defended. Meanwhile, Renekton should be able to get a pretty good push up top, especially since Heimer is staying at the bottom. Of course, Heimer at the same time is pretty good at defending a lot of people and holding back a tower for a considerable amount of time. In fact, that's what ends up happening. 3 people chase Renekton away, and I think that... Oh, Rammus overextend and gets himself killed. That's a poor choice. Rammus does go down from Heimer, and Karthus goes down by Heimer, and I guess that's why Rammus was in the middle of it. But that's what I'm saying. Heimer is able to defend that tower despite being outmanned, and it meant that enough people could go and try to get a kill on Renekton, but that didn't work out either. Renekton there using his mobility to get through the wall. If you're going to be playing Renekton, it's very important to watch Riot Games' own YouTube video, the Champion Spotlight for Renekton, because they highlight all the different areas that you can pass through a wall as Renekton, because it's a very short dash, so many walls you cannot go through, so you need to know which ones you can. So 33 to 28, still a very close game, 50 minutes in at this point. These inhibitors are still up. If the blue team had physical DPS in any way, I think they could have come and sort of semi-backdoor these guys. And I really think a lot of this comes down to the blue Gangplank not making a very wise choice with his items, not being very DPS-y on a team that really needed a lot more damage. It does have the Frozen Mallet at this point, which, in my opinion, if you wanted a slight tankiness, the Frozen Mallet is an excellent choice for that. Because it gives you a good amount of hit points, but it still helps contribute to your damage considerably. So we've got some pings going on for Baron Nashor here, and that's going to be very risky. The blue team is not very far away, but in fact Soraka and them may be coming this way, expecting trouble. Looks like he's aggro though. Looks like they're actually fighting Baron. They've got to engage ASAP. They cannot wait. They've got to drop something. What are they going to do? Oh, Rammus comes to take a peek. Looks like they were not going for the kill on Baron Nashor. They knew that they were waiting here and decided to engage, take out Karthus in a microsecond. And Karthus' ult does go off right before he finally truly dies, which is going to weaken the other team. Not that much. Rammus against such a tanky team is not necessarily great pick. Of course, in these games, you do not see your enemy composition beforehand. So there's no way to really know that, nor to know that they're quite the same. Jax goes down to the combined forces as well, and Anivia is almost certainly going to go down here. Doesn't even have her egg form up. Renekton is able to get out of there, but he's not going to be able to defend this inhibitor. It's definitely going to go down. Anivia commenting that they have wards everywhere, which definitely seems to be the case. They must have had a ward behind the Baron to know that the team was there, which is a very interesting thing. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before. I'm betting Soraka is probably buying a lot of the wards as a support character. She doesn't need that many items. She does have a good choice of items. Soul Shroud, Boots of Lucidity, Archangel Staff. So I don't know, maybe it's not actually. Wow. Well, losing 2 inhibitors, I think this is probably going to be GG. Karthus going down once again. I don't really see a way to come back here at this point, and I think that's going to be game. Renekton having done a pretty good job, score of 4-1-14, but overall the teamwork on the team very, very, very lacking, and missing a few really important times to push. They could have applied a little bit more pressure, but that's it, GG. Hope you enjoyed it, folks, and oh, it's still doing that thing. I can't pull up the scoreboard at the end. I hate that. Defeat. Well, that's a shame. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and guys, send in some more replays, post them on towerdive.com. I would be more than happy to do more of this. This is a lot of fun. Try not to post games where it's 100% one-sided, because don't tend to be quite as interesting or informative. I mean, if you get lucky and you get a lead, or there's a feeder on the enemy team and you just get so high up in score that it literally doesn't matter what you do, then there's not much to learn from that. But other than that, I mean, I don't mind seeing you guys win, seeing you guys carry a team. That's fine and perfectly exciting. But yeah, so go to towerdive.com, or you can email them to quill18@towerdive.com. Forward to it. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.